Submarine Commando is an action strategy game that was published by JVC for the PlayStation in 2001, and this game would also take a lot of inspiration from the original Submarine Commander that would have been released on the Atari computers of old way back in the early 80s. That focuses on strategic elements where you're navigating a submarine underwater and you have to engage in battle with other enemy submarines that will try to attack you as you progress through each of the levels. So this game is primarily played from a first person perspective, primarily, where you have access to all of your details on screen, where you have a reticle to let you know where you're moving forward and where you can shoot, but you also have access on the screen to understand your weapon layout so that you can load all of your missiles and cannons, as you will have to manually load everything. It will give you the options and the know-how to do it as you play, but you have to be very strategic and specific in how you engage with enemies, as you will have a lot of elements that will appear on the screen, but you have to understand which are enemies and which are just obstacles to avoid. Now the game itself, like typical old school type games, it almost has a VR style like perspective, as even though you're underwater, it doesn't seem like there's an awful lot going on, because again there's just one big screen, and you find that you have to just keep moving around for other elements within the environment to start to show up, because you can't really see that far into the distance, so you don't really know what's in front of you. You kind of get various instances on the radar to let you know that there's other elements or even enemies within the vicinity of your submarine, so you have to make a choice as to whether you want to engage or not. Now you can check your map, which kind of acts like a sonar radar to let you know whereabouts everything is and how close they are to you. But the thing with this game is, if you're looking for something that's highly detailed with good graphics, this isn't that game, because the game is very simplistic in how it presents itself, especially from a visual point of view, as there's not really much in terms of the graphics. It's just that you're navigating environments and everything pretty much looks the same, but it plays and feels like very much as like air combat style games, like if you've ever played Air Combat or even other types of vehicular combat style games, even flight simulators, more to the point, even though you're underwater, but this plays and feels more like an early flight simulator game more than anything, in reflection of how it handles and how it plays and just this overall control systems and how you engage with enemies. It pretty much would play very similar to those type of games. If you wanted an actual comparison, that'd be the best way to look at it from that point of view. Now if you haven't spent time playing it, if you're a beginner coming into this, you really won't know what's going on. You won't really have a clue. This game would be more for die-hard strategy and tactical style players and gamers that would have spent a lot of time playing the likes of Air Combat and even more of those kind of flight simulator style games. This would be more their thing, because they would understand the various elements and intricacies that's required to play these games to get the most out of it. But for the average player, the casual player, this probably wouldn't be the game for them, because you wouldn't really know exactly what to do. For most people, they probably wouldn't enjoy it, because the gameplay is very slow and it is kind of hard to understand really what to do, and I found that myself from playing it. Again, because I don't play a lot of these type of games, and I didn't play them years ago as such. I played a few of them, but again back then I didn't really understand them either, and in some cases even now, there's a few of them now that I have played over the years and I did enjoy them and I was able to get into them, but there's a lot of the ones like this here I just didn't really know what was going on, and it was just, especially because the environments all look the same, it's hard to really know and understand where you're supposed to be at any given time, because everything just looks identical to the last part you're in, so it can be confusing to a lot of gamers. But it really just depends on your own interests if you're into these type of games, and I know myself there is a lot of gamers out there that do love these more strategic type games, and this would be more suited to them. So if that is something you're into, then you can definitely try this, but if you're not into these type of games, you would be better to look elsewhere, and that's just being honest. But I would love to know your thoughts on Submarine Commander for the PlayStation, if you have played this type of game at all, and do you enjoy these more tactical approach to games, or maybe not so much. I'd love to hear whatever stories you do have of these type of games, so be sure to share them down in the comments below. And if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be updated of future videos. And if you would like to see more content on the channel around other types of strategy style games similar to Submarine Commander, you can check out the playlist here on screen to see more of those games in action. And as always, keep those gaming memories alive.